The college football experience, week 8 preview and picks for the weekday games episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up. And when you do, sign up with that promo code TCESGPN. You get 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. Once again, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Start crushing college football and NFL with Rhythm. Get your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Week 8 preview picks for all the weekday games. Yes, youtube.com/the college experience. Just realized I feel naked without my hat on. Don't want to, whatever, fuck it. youtube.com/the college experience. I've been running around, just got back from the old mechanic. My car got absolutely obliterated on Friday. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But hey, when you're winning it, when Diego Pavia just bought me a brand new bumper, car, essentially. Yes. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
He's the kind of guy that would drink a gallon of gasoline so he could piss in your campfire. You could drop this guy off at the Arctic Circle wearing a pair of bikini underwear without his toothbrush, and tomorrow afternoon he's going to show up at your poolside with $1 million smile and a fistful of pesos.
Diego Pavia is putting a lot of pesos in the old bank account. Call me Jeff Pesos over here. All right. Yes. I mean, the legend just keeps growing. Only in America. All right.
At least this time we were both on Vandy with the points and the money line. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I am joined by my co-host, the DFS god himself. Give it up for the rooftop IPA drinking, homebrew making, tobacco road living, the free lock giving, farmer, Herndon Basketball League MVP. Give it up for NC Nick in the place to be.
There we go. What's up, man? What's going on?
I mean, 12 weekday games.
Love it.
All right.
Triple header Tuesday.
Some of them not the greatest of games, but those are the fun ones.
True.
You know, there was like, I think I had the stat somewhere here that there was like 52 games, I think, last season or last week.
Yeah.
I forget the exact number. But I think 30 of them were one possession games.
Wow.
Which is fucking incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
What I had a chance to react with you. What'd you make of the wild week of college football? With obviously you had the legend of Diego pissing Pavia continuing to grow on, but also Oregon takes down Ohio State. Ryan Day loses another big time game. I've gotten DMs saying he's the Larry Coker of Ohio State, and without the natty. Also you had Alabama and Tennessee look like complete dog shit. You had Texas roll in the Red River shootout. What was your biggest takeaways?
Well, I think right now we're at the exact midway point. 7 weeks in the books, 7 weeks to go, and we're sitting here with 11 undefeated teams in the country. 8 of those are Power 4 teams, and only one SEC team in Texas still. And I'd argue that Texas still hasn't played anybody. I mean, you would think Michigan, Oklahoma would be, quality wins, but are they? So
well, that's what I keep bringing up, and I keep listening. I listen to like as many football podcasts as I can, college football podcasts and stuff when I'm driving around.
yeah.
And I just feel like we're crowning them like they were a bottom 15 pass defense last year. I think they were bottom 10 if memory serves me correct. And maybe that's fixed, but we would have no idea because they haven't played one. The best quarterback they played, I think, was General Booty, who's not even starting for ULA. I'm like trying to do the math of like Fowler Nkosi. Is that the best quarterback they played?
Yeah. I mean, looking at it here, that's a lot of bad quarterbacks. Oklahoma's quarterback situation is kind of like Michigan's quarterback situation, not good. So they do have a pretty good quarterback in a couple weeks. I think you're familiar with them, Diego Pavia.
Oh yeah, and that's when it comes crashing down. All right, we already know
they got to get by Georgia first, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like Texas. Of course, they've looked great, but what did Steve Sarkisian do to the gods? He played 7 backup quarterbacks last year. This year, he's getting 7 starting quarterbacks, but they're all shitty. You know what I mean? It's like, how does that happen? How does that happen?
Yeah, and I mean, if you go, look at the second half of the schedule. There's Florida. Mertz is gone
out for the year. And by the way, they got Mississippi State with Shapen out for the year.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, Vandy, solid quarterbacks. Arkansas, Taylor Green, solid quarterback. Kentucky's quarterback, I don't think he's Vandergriff or whatever his name is. Yeah. And then A&M to close it out. Look, if you're a team that might struggle defending the pass, this is the schedule that you want.
Oh, give me that first round matchup where they play, who's airing it out right now? Give me like Texas Tech in the second round against Texas. I don't know. Texas Tech got bodied by them last year.
Well, let me throw out these 8 Power 4 teams, and you let me know who's a contender to be. I guess they're all contenders to be in the playoffs right now, but like serious contenders. So we'll start with the ACC, Miami and Pitt. I mean, is Miami a contender?
I don't think so, but I mean, their roster. The reason they bought this roster, so like in that regard, you respect it. I thought they should have lost the past 2 games, but I think they're going to lose at Louisville.
You could argue that they should get better as the season progresses with all the new faces. We'll see. We'll see how they come off the bye week this week. Obviously, Pitt's not a contender. Pitt is one of the most fraudulent. Undefeated teams.
At what point? I mean, they should have lost last week. Cal should be undefeated if they can make a field goal.
Yeah. Cal is 0-3 in ACC play, but goddamn, they could have won every one of those.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you look at Pitt's schedule. I mean, I know it gets more challenging. Patty C was making it seem like they have this big gauntlet. I was like, what are you talking about? They have the bye week this week. Then they have a Thursday nighter where they host Syracuse. I think Pitt should probably be like a 3-point favorite. Right?
Yeah.
Then they're at SMU. Now that game suddenly looks a lot harder than we thought, but like, okay. Yeah. Then they're home to Virginia. They could lose that, but I think they should be favored.
Yeah.
Home to Clemson. Clemson's never won up there at Pitt. And that'll be on November 16th. So those little South Carolina boys don't know about a little cold weather on November 16th in Pittsburgh. And then they're at Louisville, which they could lose, they could win. I mean, Brom and Louisville don't look as good as I thought they would.
No, they don't.
And then they're at Boston College on the 30th. Now watch them lose that.
Well, I still think of these 6 games, they're going to lose. I mean, probably 3 of them. I think if they go 3-3 in these last 6 games and end the year 9-3, that's a fantastic season for them.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens with an awesome offensive coordinator.
Who's better, Pitt or BYU?
BYU is a lot better in my opinion. Yeah. BYU's defense is nasty, dude.
Yeah, they definitely have a better defense, and they've won a little bit more convincingly. I guess the SMU game was close. That was before SMU.
But still, that was on the road. Like Pitt has had they're down 10 to Dub V with 3 minutes left at home. You know what I mean? Like this was at home to Cal when they missed that. What was that?
Yeah.
Like a 32-yard field goal, right? Like Pitt, even the Cincinnati game, I don't feel like BYU has like actually been in control of the games, whereas like Pitt was down 20 to Cincy in the 4th. Now credit to Pitt for coming back, but I just feel like they've been living on the edge.
I still think BYU is a bit phony also, and some L's are are coming.
Well, perhaps, but I'm just saying, at least they've dictated like the tone of the game.
Yeah.
Like they have been up
Fair
in the
enough.
games.
Fair enough. All right, who's more real or who's more fraudulent? BYU or Indiana?
Indiana's played such shitty competition, but I do think Indiana's good.
Yeah.
And I think Indiana's going to be in the playoffs.
I mean, hey, they got a pretty favorable schedule down the stretch too.
Yeah.
And what they have going for them is that they're in the Big Ten. I
Yeah.
mean, if BYU was in the Big Ten, that would be much better situation for them to be in as well. But I think okay. So what about Iowa State? I think they're for real.
Oh, they're the most impressive of them. Of like between all the ones you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like Miami's been fortunate to get past the past 2 weeks. Like Iowa State's needed no fortune. Like the Iowa State's actually looked the part. So I would say like they would be my number one out of all the ones we mentioned. But at the same time, you wonder, is that sustainable still? Like, you know, Matt Campbell's teams. This is the best Matt Campbell team. Like they normally play more close games. They've been kind of, with the exception of the Iowa game, they've been kind of whooping ass.
But your margin of error is slimmer when you don't have that much more talent than opponents. So yes, I see them dropping a couple games also.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are legit: Oregon, Texas, Penn State. Penn State, I'm still not all the way buying in.
They should have lost this past week. I know. I know David Pollack was pretty adamant on Twitter about the calls that went against USC, but look, they should have lost, but they also outgained USC by a substantial amount. But I just think that they got fortunate to get that game even to overtime. I mean, it was 17-0, right? Or 17-3, I think. But we'll see. I mean, Penn State, you look at their remaining schedule and you're like, I mean, I'm assuming they lose to Ohio State, but other than that, I don't really know. At Wisconsin looks harder now than I thought.
Sure.
Blessing in disguise with Van Dyke getting injured. Van Dyke's gonna have to transfer again because Braden Locke's gonna be their future quarterback. I don't know. It makes for just a crazy season down the stretch here. I mean, even like, I think Kansas State's gonna lose at West Virginia next week. I don't think dude, watching that Colorado game, I'm like, Kansas State deserved to win that game, even though I thought that was a horrible non-call on the pass interference. I would have liked to seen Colorado with Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn in the game.
Sure. Right.
But I think Kansas State's not very good this year. I think they're going to lose at Dub V. So that makes, like, I don't know. And then you got the news about Cam Rising. He's out indefinitely now. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. He is out indefinitely. I did hear that he can come back for next year.
Yeah, well, he can, because he can come back the next 2 years because
is he getting another medical red shirt?
I think so. I think they said he's out indefinitely. He's not Zach Wilson, but his brother. Drawing a blank on his name. Is named the starting quarterback right now. Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable that you got all this going on.
Well,
what about the SEC? Like, who do you? Ole Miss has 2 losses, by the way. Lane Kiffin, come on. Who do you got in the SEC championship game right now?
Go down the list. LSU, they're very fortunate to be 5-1. I don't think they're very good.
I don't think they're very good either.
No, exactly. Georgia has not looked as good as they have the last 5 years. That's for sure. That offense looks mighty sluggish. A&M they're 3-0 and number 1 in the conference standings right now, but I'm not completely sold on them either. I mean, I know we're big Elko guys and we expect that
they're looking
to improve.
better.
They are
every game,
right? What you would expect from Elko. So the fact that they got off to a 3-0 start and they're getting better bodes well for them. And then everybody else: Tennessee, Bama, Missouri. I mean, Oklahoma looks like hot
call
garbage.
Me crazy. I think Vanderbilt might be the second or third best team in the SEC.
Why not? Why not? I mean,
they're balanced on offense.
Yeah.
And to me, they've been so physical. Like, even I watched today in the office. We had the South Carolina Alabama game on again.
Yeah,
I know Bama won that game, but South Carolina was winning the line of scrimmage. And to me, that would have been 2 straight weeks. Vanderbilt beat them on the line of scrimmage. South Carolina beat them on the line of scrimmage. They didn't win the game because they got down 14-0 and they can't make a field goal.
Right.
But I worry about Bama moving forward. Now, I guess they play Tennessee this week, so who knows? But
it's not just an SEC problem. I think you look across the whole country and you're questioning who is really elite, if anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, is the video out for people? I see someone in the chat saying the video is out. Let us know, folks, if that's true.
Moss Man was asking where I live in North Carolina. I live in Raleigh, man. Sounds like he's pretty close. What's up, dude?
There we go. Want to tell you, folks, that the college football experience. Well, first off, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, you're getting this, this video to be working correctly. I should check that in a second here. But if you can head over to Spotify, how many of these loyal listeners? Like, I don't even use Spotify. That do you use Spotify, NC Nick?
Yeah, I do some.
Okay, I don't use it much, but I still have the app on my phone.
Yeah.
So like, one of the things we've noticed is that if you get on over there and hit the like and give it 5 stars, it really helps the algorithm to push your podcast. So please, if you can do us a solid here and get on over to Spotify, even if you don't use it like myself, get on over there. It takes 10 seconds out of your day. Click the 5 stars, and we'd be forever grateful. Okay,
we see that.
We
see the soccer gambling podcast getting all kinds of 5-star reviews. I think we got to make it personal. I think we need the fans of our show to say, "Hey, we're not going to let the soccer gambling podcast get more reviews than TCE." Come on.
That's what I'm saying. I flopped while you said that. All right. I mean, good God, are we really gonna let these soccer pussies come over here and push us around?
What would Bosworth say?
Yeah, Bosworth would say, I believe you can get the fuck out of America with that bullshit. All right. So please, get on over there and let's go. Is the screen working? Is that do we confirm that?
Everybody else says it's fine, so I think Mossman's just having an issue.
Gotcha. Too much porn, Mossman. Let's go. Yeah, anyway, only you can prevent corporate gambling. So please, if you can, get on over to Spotify, give us a 5-star review. We'd be forever grateful. All right, we are back on the college football experience, and yeah, that's enough recapping. Right? Unless did you want to note anything else?
No, man, let's get it. We're here to pick games. Let's look forward instead of looking behind us. And we got a bunch of games, like you said. Some of these games are not the best, but the fact that we get a triple header on Tuesday, I think it's fantastic.
Right, and we get the battle for the belt. All right, let's get right into it. YouTube.com/college experience. I got slides and everything, folks. Boom, let's go. Battle for the belt. Troy, South Alabama. Gio Lopez. Fluff Bothwell. This is. By the way, this line keeps jumping up. I made these slides about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago. Actually, probably 2 hours ago. It was right before the FCS show, which go listen to the FCS college football experience. I made these lines then, NC Nick, and now I am currently I'm staring at a South Alabama minus 13.5.
Earlier today, I saw it was like 11.5 or so. So it's definitely money's coming in on South Bama. I don't know if it's a quarterback situation for Troy with Goose Crowder as questionable, but I don't think it matters who the quarterback is for Troy. It's not like he's been that much better than Kilcrease, the backup. So, but I mean, I think the South Alabama side is the side that I'm ultimately going to be on, even if Troy has won 6 in a row in this little rivalry.
Oh, this is a lock, buddy.
Yeah.
Give me Fluff Bothwell and Gio Lopez. Lay the points. Lay the points with South Alabama. Troy's fucking horrible. Did I mention that?
Troy is winless against FBS teams. Their only win was in less than impressive fashion against FAMU a few weeks ago. Like some folks in the chat were mentioning, their run defense is awful, and South Alabama has 2 good running backs, and Gio Lopez can get yards on the ground too. It seems like South Alabama's offense is really clicking, with the exception of that game at Arkansas State, the last time they played, but that was their 3rd straight road game. So the fact that they're coming off a bye, they're at home, I think they're going to be well rested, and that offense is going to pick right up where like they did in the app game. So I like South Bama here, laying the points for sure.
Dude, South Bama's offense. I'm sorry. South Bama's offense is fire. Troy's offense is complete ass. If you throw out week 1 back in August, where they did put up 26 in a losing effort against Nevada. You look 17 against Memphis. Now, yes, they got 21 against Iowa. I don't know how that happened, but 9 against ULM at home, 17 against Texas State, which is not known to be a defensive juggernaut. I think you smash this. I'm laying that, like, I look at this one as being like, I don't know, like 35-13 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it could get out of hand also. So I'm right there with you, especially, at South Alabama. I mean, getting behind Troy on the road is just something really hard to do right now. We haven't seen it from them. With their coach from last year gone, they've taken a big step back. It seems like South Alabama has kind of managed the coaching change better. I like them here too. I'll lock it up with you. I think this is my favorite play of Tuesday night.
Yes. I agree. So double lock. Look, we don't have Patty C here, but I just know he would definitely not lock this, but we're going to pretend like he would. He would bring up some trans property and we wouldn't end up locking it after talking about it. But Patty C, we're going to just play the song here because this double lock. Let's go. All right, that was a great tuck job there. All right, folks, what to tell you, the college football experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, Underdog Pick'em as one of the biggest menus for all sports: NFL, college football, MLB, MMA, WNBA, NASCAR, and much, much more. Their lobby is jam-packed with profit boosts. You can now use specials and boosts on all flexed entries. So what are you doing? Sign up. And when you do, sign up with the promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. NC Nick, speaking of the great Fluff Bothwell, I see some just lovely stuff over on Underdog Fantasy.
What's you looking at?
I am looking at, well, first, Gio Lopez, higher, lower, 1.5 passing touchdowns.
I think I would go higher. But I want to attack this game with South Alabama's running attack.
I was about to say, Fluff Bothwell, higher, lower, 51.5. That is a
higher.
That is a smash play right there. What about longest rush, higher, lower, 15.5?
Higher.
Yeah.
Hate to go chalky, but higher.
They just don't know about Fluff.
Apparently not.
But that's the edge you can find over there on Underdog Fantasy, folks. So please jump on over there. Use that promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get on over there. The people are asking about ladders, NC Nick.
I was really looking. I tweeted this out a couple hours ago. When I first saw that they had some props in DK, I saw one on Gio Lopez rushing, which I thought was really juicy. 3 hours later, those odds had changed big time. I think a lot of people jumped on that. So that was my initial lean. Right now, I don't have any ladders in that game because I think all the value was sucked out by the line movement there.
All right, there we go. Moving along, we got a classic at Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. Kennesaw State, the Owls, who have been complete ass this year. That's what you get for going away from the flex. All right. But they're catching 10.5 points in Murfreesboro.
Is this two of the worst or the bottom 5 teams in America?
Yes. Johnny Red Floyd Stadium will not be lit. And let me tell you, as someone that has watched a lot of Middle Tennessee football, this is a lock that I feel pretty good about, NC Nick. I am locking up Kennesaw State plus the points. I think we sprinkle the money line on plus 290 or 300, whatever that is. I think I saw 300 earlier. It's worth the sprinkle. You want my point?
Yeah.
Let me build you a point. Shout out to GBO Farms, long time listener, Tennessee Tech grad, but they're horrible. If you haven't followed Tennessee Tech football, they're not very good. But Tennessee Tech damn near beat Middle Tennessee in week 1. It's 32-25. Middle Tennessee wins by 7, right? Tennessee Tech, to give you a perfect example, they just lost to Southeast Missouri State 34-3 last week, right? They lost to South Carolina State, who had just replaced coaching legend Buddy Pugh in the FCS, right? They're not good. And my point is, I know Kennesaw is ass, right?
Yeah, they are.
But I think they're better than Tennessee Tech. And Tennessee Tech had that as a 7-point game. I know that was game 1, and Derek Mason's probably got Middle Tennessee playing at a higher level than say game 1.
Slightly higher.
But I also think Kennesaw is that much better than Tennessee Tech. Like I would probably lay double digits with Kennesaw against Tennessee Tech. So give me Kennesaw with the points and the money line. I see the chat talking about the over, right? Is the play. Shout out to Michael Fincher in the chat saying, give me the over. I guess I would lean over, but I like the points and the money line play for the Owls. What are you doing here, NC Nick?
I think you got to take the points. I mean, MTSU should not be laying double digits against anybody. They shouldn't be laying double digits against like half the FCS teams, let alone another FBS opponent. Kennesaw isn't very good either. I mean, Kennesaw's got a bottom 5 offense in the nation, but Middle Tennessee's got a bottom 5 defense. And actually, they have the worst pass defense in the country. Not sure if Kennesaw can quite take advantage of that like other teams could, like La Tech did last week. But bottom line is you just can't lay 10 points with MTSU. So yes, I'm on Kennesaw.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean Middle Tennessee is horrible too. So I think it's actually a decent wager. Moving along on this fine Tuesday of college football. Now we jump over to La Tech. Laying 11. Has this moved? Let me see. It's moved a point. They're laying 12 now. They're laying 12 in Las Cruces.
I thought the other two games were kind of obvious plays. This one, I think, I don't know what side you're going to take here. I was pretty sure you were going to go South Bama and Kennesaw with me, but I don't know where you're going to go here.
Oh, I'm all over New Mexico State.
Are you?
Yes. Now I will say I am a little bit concerned at the injury situation. Oh no. How interesting. They didn't reference him. I find that hard to believe, but because they had a guy leave on a stretcher, but I'm not seeing him on the injury report right now for New Mexico State. Look, I just don't think La Tech's that good. Now I did load up on La Tech last week. I still think La Tech is a bottom 5 to 10 team, and New Mexico State is also a bottom 5 to 10 team. They're giving us just these classics on Tuesday nights.
I'd argue that I think New Mexico State is definitely a bottom 5 to 10 team. La Tech, I'm not sure. I think La Tech might be a little bit better than that.
Really?
I think they have an offense that can do a little bit. I mean, either that or MTSU's defense is just that bad. But Louisiana Tech has been in every game. They played NC State tight. They lost in overtime to Tulsa. New Mexico State, I mean, the last 2 games, teams have dropped 50 burgers on them, giving up 54 to Jacksonville State, giving up 50 to New Mexico. I think New Mexico State is much worse than La Tech. I'm actually thinking about laying the 11 or 12 or whatever you said with the Bulldogs.
The only thing about New Mexico State is this. Obviously, they lost a quarterback for the season, but they're all, the big one was like the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Who was like got basically kicked off the team because of a background. They didn't do a good background. Surprise. New Mexico State athletics didn't really do a proper background check. But La Tech, this is a team that beat Nichols by 5.
Well,
Nichols.
That was to begin the year also, and I think La Tech has also gone a quarterback change, and the current quarterback, what's his name, Evan Bullock, has been playing a lot better than Jack Turner did.
A lot of that I think has to do with the offensive coordinating change. Sonny Cumbie realized he's about to be fired. He relieved himself from the offensive coordinating spot. And I think it's been a slight blessing in disguise, but no,
I agree. No, it has been a blessing in disguise because Evan Bullock has stepped in. He's completing over 70%. He's got 6 touchdowns to 0 interceptions, and the offense has picked up.
But buddy, this team, okay, they scored 48 against Middle Tennessee on a game I locked up. Thank you. But prior to that, they had 10 points at the airport, right?
Not a good look. I agree.
What I'm saying. Like I just think you got to take the points here. I think like New Mexico State. Now, I would like to see a little longer of an injury report because I feel like their starting running back might be injured. He went off on a stretcher last week. I mean, at least questionable. What this information we're getting is very interesting. Anyway, I'm taking the points, and I think I don't think it's crazy to sprinkle the money line. I think this is anyone's game. I mean, I do think La Tech should be favored, but I don't think they should be favored by 12.
you might be
I would
right.
set this at like 3, like La Tech by 3.5, maybe.
I do think that's why. I mean, if you're not like completely sold on any of the games Tuesday night, I think a teaser is definitely in play to pull South Bama under 10, to pull La Tech under 7, and to take Kennesaw above 14. That seems like a nice little 3-team teaser there.
Oh, say that one more time.
Take South Alabama, bring it down to like 7.5. Take
Like
Kennesaw, bring it up to like 15.5 or 16, whatever number you said. I mean, I'm seeing a couple different numbers.
Yeah.
And then take La Tech and bring that down to like 5.5 or something.
Or you take New Mexico State to 17.
You know, that's not a bad angle either.
I think that's the smarter angle there, because La Tech still is on the road. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on La Tech, so if I'm on La Tech at 11.5, then the teaser that way sounds better to me. But I see your play. That's not bad either.
I'm betting all 3 of those games. All right. I'm locking all 3 of those games. Let's have some fun on a Tuesday night. A lot of people like the Daryl's in there saying he likes the over 49.5. I think I do too, but actually I don't know, because
I'm just worried about.
Just put up 10 on the road at FIU. I don't think I can get there, actually. The more I think about it.
Yeah, for me to bet an over, I want 2 teams that can score. And like those last 2 games, Kennesaw, I don't know how much they can score, and New Mexico State, I don't know how much they can score. Those are bad offenses, so I don't know.
Yeah. Folks, before we get to Wednesday's action, want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by Rhythm. SGPN's proud partner. Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds to get predictions for betting on money lines, spreads, totals, props, all that good stuff. Build your own model, or you can copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard. I like to build my own. All right. And I suggest, or I click what I like, then it builds around that. Rhythm gives you predictions for every game and player prop, and also has a slew of stats, research, trend analysis to give you even more betting insight. Claim your free 7-day trial period today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by BetUS. Bet with the best in the business. That is BetUS. They've been around for more than 30 years. You can easily deposit using cryptocurrency and get lightning fast payouts. Sign up and deposit $100, and you have a chance to win a 1960 Ford Mustang, folks. Use our link to sign up and get a 125% deposit bonus in your first 3 deposits. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Promo code SGPN so they know that we sent you. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. All right, we're back. We're ready to go. Oakland High School is being referenced in the chat. Oakland High School in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. All right, let's jump over to Wednesday's action. Just mascot glory here.
This is a great game.
Yes, and I feel great about this game.
I feel very good about it too. I think we're going to be on the same side. But before we do that, there is a clear top 4 teams in the Conference USA, and then there is a massive drop off. And this is the first game this year between 2 of the teams that belong in that top 4. So this is a fantastic game. I can't wait for it.
Yes, and Western Kentucky heads to the Bear Claw, Huntsville, Texas, take on Sam Houston State. I am a big fan of Sam Houston State's defense. They're going to put the kibosh on this cha-cha-cha bullshit. Although I love, did you see Western Kentucky's helmets last week?
They were fun. They
are great. They just know how to do it. It's like the NFL used to be like that when they had the Buccaneers with the creamsicles and the Oilers. They used to do fun, believe it or not. Now it's a no fun league. So look, I'm all over Sam Houston State. I'm going to lay the 3. They're at home. This is a far trip. I think they're a more balanced football team. I also think I like always taking the better defensive team. So give me these Bearcats at the Bear Claw. They're laying the 3. I also think the under 55.5 is a solid option also, but I'm just going to lay the 3 with Sam Houston State. That's a lock. I feel pretty good about it. You?
Yep, I'm on the same side. If I could add just a couple things to that, Sam Houston is also coming off a bye, so they're going to be more well rested here. And the one matchup I look towards is that Sam Houston rushing offense, currently ranked 11th in the nation, going up against a Western Kentucky defense that struggles to stop the run, 89th in the nation. So you got Sam Houston. They'll control the clock. They'll keep that Western Kentucky passing offense on the sidelines for most of the game. They're going to play strong D. I love the Bearcats here. I think I have a ticket for them to go to the CUSA championship game, and a win here will go a long way in making that happen. So let's go, Sam Houston. Lock it up.
Oh yeah. Wow, we got a double lock here. Now we're talking.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
Double lock. Let's go. Sam Houston at the Bear Claw. All right, moving along, we jump over to El Paso, Texas, where Florida International, FIU, the Sun Blazers are heading to the Sun Bowl. Can the Sun Blazers win at the Sun Bowl?
I kind of struggled with this game for a little bit too. Did you struggle with it, or was it an easy FIU play? Because I know you're going FIU.
Yeah, FIU should have won last week. They're way better in their record. They should have beat Monmouth. They fumbled into the Ernest Biner shit happened. Yeah, I'm laying the 7 with FIU. I mean, UTEP is starting to look a little better. I agree. I think I've seen glimpses. I think actually I like that running back Jolly who missed the first few games of the year. So I'm seeing a little glimpses from UTEP, but certainly they're not there yet. And I still think you can find numbers that are under 7. I think ESPN bet might be 6.5 right now. If you can find a number under 7, obviously I like that more. But FIU, it is a second half of a back-to-back, being at Liberty last week, but FIU is a better team. Yeah. Now I know UTEP won 27-14 last year. A lot has changed since last year, though. Yes. I'm on FIU. Lay the 7. Sun Bowl, one of the greatest stadiums in all of college football. You gotta tune in. You gotta go if you're close to the area. You gotta go to this game. Yeah, and Michael, I would agree that FIU is definitely the 5th best team in CUSA, and you know what? By the end of the year, maybe they could be in that top 4 or something. Because hell, they did just almost beat Liberty. So I think the real big drop off kind of happens after FIU, where you're looking at La Tech, Kennesaw, MTSU, New Mexico State, UTEP. You're looking at bad teams. So yeah, give me FIU too. I don't feel as good as with this one though. So my favorite Wednesday play would be Sam Houston. Yeah, I feel better about Sam Houston just because UTEP's looking a little bit better. It's at home. But I feel good about, and I will bet both just because what are we doing here? Thursday. We get 2 games on Thursday. Thank God. All right. I've hated the way these college football people have been. College football was built on Thursdays. All right. The NFL followed it, but damn it, you don't abandon it just because the NFL's throwing their shit up there. All right. George, what's the shitty NFL game on Thursday? Just out of curiosity, because I'm gonna like the college football ones a lot better. I know that. I mean, you're asking me. I haven't. It's Broncos, Denver, Saints. New Orleans. Yeah, the Sean Payton Bowl. Yeah, you got like freaking Spencer Rattler starting for the Saints. Yeah, that game sucks. Watch college football. Yeah, I mean, come on. I'd put NAIA on. I'd fucking watch over that. This one is an interesting game. Georgia State's at Marshall. Georgia State 2-3. Del McGee's kind of been all over the place. Somehow magically beat the pisser himself, pissing Pavia. But at the same time, they just lost to Old Dominion in a game we were on ODU. Now Marshall just blew a. Did you see that Marshall Georgia Southern game? I just saw the box score. No. Did you realize that they were up big? Yeah, it was like 21-3. I think it was. 23-3. 23-3 going into the 4th. Unfucking believable. I mean, to think that was a huge game for them. Yeah. They could have played in the Sun Belt Championship potentially. Georgia Southern somehow magically coming and pulling it off. But now Marshall returns to Huntington, West Virginia. I'm curious what the hell feel like Huntington could be cold. Let me check. Let me do a weather check here. What is that temperature going to be right around game time here?
Well, it's 55 right now, but I think the East Coast is about to get a little cold wave come through here. So I bet you that game could be in the 40s.
Yeah, for some Georgia boys going up. By the way, it's still saying at night low of 35 actually.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously it won't be 35 at kick at 7:00 over there, but it would probably be, I would think, early like 42, 43, something like that. Give me Marshall because of that. I'll lay the 9. I don't feel great about it though. This is actually, I think, out of all the ones we've done, I'm gonna go ahead and say this one's the hardest one.
I think I might agree. Ultimately, I'm going to go the same side as you. I don't know how Georgia State got up for that Vandy game, but they've looked like ass pretty much before that and after that game. They're another team that struggles to stop the run. They gave up 260 plus to Georgia Southern. They gave up over 200 on the ground to ODU in the last 2 games. Those games were at home also. Marshall, much better at running the ball than passing the ball. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from that rough second half or that rough fourth quarter. But I think Marshall's a better team and they're at home. Let's go Herd.
Yeah. I mean, I understand like Marshall probably should not be laying 9 to almost any team in the Sun Belt, but I think this would be maybe the lone one.
I damn sure didn't feel great laying more than a touchdown, but I'm not buying Georgia State.
Yeah. What about that totals at 51.5? I lean under.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that might be the better play than actually laying the 9. All right. Next up, we got what could happen on a Thursday night? This it's funny. They played their first game in 1993, but there's a Wikipedia page for their rivalry. Boston College heads to Blacksburg, Virginia, to take on the Hokies. And if you remember Thursday nights, if you know college football really well, I believe it was 2007 when we got a classic Thursday game. Matt Ryan trailing Virginia Tech the entire game, really shown no offensive potential the entire game. And in the final 2 minutes, they're able to score a touchdown, get an onside kick, and then find a wheel route to, I forget the running back's name, but a wheel route to win the game 14-13.
You know what game that it reminded me of, and maybe you remember this, maybe you didn't. When the Redskins beat the Cowboys, where Mark Brunell hit Santana Moss with 2 late touchdowns. They did absolutely nothing until the last 2 drives of the game and won 14-13
in Dallas, right?
Yeah,
in Dallas, yeah. And Roy Williams got toasted.
Yes,
Roy Williams was the safety, the Oklahoma safety.
That's right.
Got toasted by Santana Moss. Both same plays. It was like it's like Tecmo Bowl. Boston College is catching 7 at Lane. I'm going chalk here. I'm laying the 7. I do think Virginia Tech's playing better. I don't know if I can trust BC on the road in a hostile environment. I think Virginia Tech's playing better, and I think they realize that as terrible as their season's gone, hey, Vanderbilt's actually not a bad team, right? And they probably got robbed against Miami. And they can still make the ACC championship if they take care of business. They have a favorable schedule. They also host Clemson. So I'm going to lay the 7 here with the Hokies, despite me being a little bit of a skeptic on them all year. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go the other side here. I'm going to take the points here. I think this is a close game. I mean, the whole thing with Lane Stadium and Blacksburg, that's not what it used to be. Under Pry in what, just over 2 years now, because this is his 3rd year against Power 4 opponents at home. He is just 4-6 straight up. So it's not like, this is this, you go in there and you lose, it just hasn't been for the last few years. And even before Pry, it wasn't under that coach either. What's his name? Fuente. So I think you are impressed by VT's response after that tough break against Miami, but Stanford was without Ashton Daniels. Boston College, the fact that they blew that UVA game is because they had 3 second half turnovers. You clean that up and it's a tight game. I think 7's too many here. I'm going to go BC.
I like it. We finally disagree on something here. Yeah, I mean, that game's great. That game's a great game to watch.
And also, I mean, since we have limited options, you could, since I don't, love either of those plays, I mean, you could talk me into another, just a 2-team teaser, bring Marshall down and bring Boston College up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw out the under in this game too, because I don't think any of these offenses are any good. So
I could definitely see another under hitting, and I wonder what the temperature will be in Lane Stadium.
Probably exactly how that's like really close to
I mean, you could definitely start getting into some some low 40s.
Let me just do a quick weather check here, but I mean, I guess BC would be kind of used to it, unlike Georgia State. I am seeing low of 31. Low of 31 at night.
You know how Blacksburg gets cold. It's low key cold.
Oh yeah.
When that wind starts whipping in Blacksburg, man, that's freaking freezing.
Yeah, I've gotten wasted and slept on the grass of some strangers. It gets cold. You get that dew. You know what I mean? You wake up, you start wondering who everybody is. They're like people trying to help you off their lawn. I get it. I've been to Blacksburg. All right. Bruce Smith's done the same thing. All right. Friday we have some loaded college football games, and it starts in the Ivy with a series that goes back to the 1800s. NC Nick. I was able to contact my sources that create essentially their numbers men for the sports books. And what I was told was we're going to look at this as a Princeton -1.5 to open things up. Now it's FCS lines. They fucking go insane.
Does that number surprise you a little bit?
A little bit, just because they're 1-3 and Brown is 2-2, but I just cashed on fading Brown because with Rhode Island, I do think Brown's a little phony. Like I watched that Harvard game week 2, which was, in my opinion, the best game that entire Saturday. That game was insane. It was basically a Tony Romo situation. Harvard was up like the entire game by double digits, and you had a moment where they were going to ice it. Like it was weird. They were up already like 14 points. They go into a prevent. Brown scores a touchdown to cut it. I think it was 13 points. And so Brown scores a touchdown to cut it to 6. They kick an onside kick because Brown has only one timeout left, right? They don't get the onside kick. Harvard actually on the there's like 2 minutes and change, so you still have the 2-minute warning now, right? Harvard gets their mistake is they get like a 20-yard rush on first down, but the guy goes out of bounds, right? Then you have a situation where they have to line up for a field goal with like 10 seconds left or 15 seconds left instead of just running out the clock, right? They go to kick the field goal. It was a Tony Romo moment where they missed the ball.
Yeah.
The dude takes it back all the way to like the 10-yard line of Harvard. Or I'm sorry, of Browns, and then Brown throws a touchdown the next play. So it was like a magical fucking win. But I faded them the past 2 weeks against Bryant and against Rhode Island, going down to Princeton, New Jersey. Princeton's got the most national championships in college football history, Nick. I'm going to I'm going to lay the 1.5 with Princeton here, and I understand Princeton isn't as good. Steve Strenstrom's son, Blake Strenstrom's gone, but they got. Well, first, Brown has a stud quarterback in Jake Wilcox, who's been there for a minute.
Right.
But I do think Princeton is way better than this 1-3 record. Playing at Mercer, I think Mercer's probably going to end up winning the SoCon. Blaine Hippa is the quarterback for the Princeton Tigers, and I think he can play a little bit. So give me these Princeton Tigers minus the 1.5. What are you doing here?
I disagree. Wrong team favored. You said that you faded Brown against Bryant and Rhode Island. Congrats on your 2 wins. But Brown had second half leads in both of those games. So kind of the opposite of the Harvard game, I suppose. I think Brown's a better team, and they're going to walk into Princeton, New Jersey, get a W.
All right, there we go. I like this. We're starting to disagree. Friday Night Ivy. Gotta
love
it.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Next up, Saudi Arabia State heads to Durham. Are you Nick? Can you bring sand to the game?
If need be.
You should show up with like a Ziploc bag of sand and a big oil drum.
I don't think anybody would understand what the hell I'm doing. That's an inside joke.
Saudi Arabia State heads to Duke. Duke is laying 3. When's the last time Duke was favored against Florida State? Has this ever happened before? Because I know they're 0-20 all time.
I was going to say
State.
Duke's never beaten Florida State. I will go out on a limb. I don't know it for a fact, but I'll go out on a limb and say Duke's never been favored either.
I'm going to take Florida State. I'm taking Saudi Arabia State. I think they're going to come in, and I just think they got to buy. How many losses do they have within the ACC? 3.
They're 1-4.
BC.
1-4 in conference.
They've already played 5 conference games.
Yeah,
that's right. They always do that. All right. I just think Florida State gets it done. I'm not high on this. Like Duke, Manny Diaz, great first season thus far.
Yeah,
you get to a bowl.
Their win total over under was 5.5, and they're 5-1, and they were beating Georgia Tech going into the fourth quarter, so they were close to getting their 6th win before Georgia Tech scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth. But look, I'm a Duke fan, obviously. People don't know, and I will admit that Duke was a phony 5-0, and that Georgia Tech spot was a very good spot for them. But I'm picking Duke here. And one thing I want to know is who handles the bye week better. I think Duke, you have high hopes for the future, the second half of the season. I think they use the bye week, and the players have bought in, and they use it to get better. Is Florida State players doing that? That's my question. No, have they quit? Do they care anymore? Half the team wasn't even there last year, so it's not like they have no pride. No, so I can see why.
Florida State they're at like fucking senior frogs, getting all fucked up. You know what I mean? Or
I can see why,
whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I can see why you might go Florida State here, but I'm going to go Duke because they're my team and because I think maybe they handle the bye week better.
Any chance you're going to this?
I'm coaching kids soccer Friday night. So no, probably not. I'll get back in front of the TV to watch most of it.
I want Duke to get their first win against Florida State.
Friday night. It's happening.
I'm on Saudi Arabia State. So, yeah.
Traitor.
All right. Friday night, we also get the Ducks heading to West Lafayette in a conference game. Ridiculous. And, I mean, this is one. Purdue. I don't know how the hell Purdue almost won last week.
They were down to 27-3 or something.
What the hell happened in that game? I was feeling so good about my bet.
One of the things that happened was that they brought in the much better quarterback in Ryan Brown, who throws for damn near 303 touchdowns and runs for over 100.
Yeah, he had a big day running.
Dude, how many teams where coaches have started the wrong quarterback to begin the year? I swear it's in like the double digits. And after 3 or 4 games, they bring in a backup who just lights it up.
Yeah. And this is a great spot to get Purdue. I'm all over the 27.5.
Yes, you have the letdown spot. You have the fact that what's the record of Pac-12 teams or previous Pac-12 teams going into, the teams in the Big Ten that are in the Central Time Zone or the Eastern Time Zone.
Well, Washington got housed by Oregon. USC got lost to Michigan and Minnesota, so that's 0-3.
I tell you,
Washington lost to Rutgers, 0-4. Oregon hasn't played over there yet, right?
Oregon has not.
UCLA lost at Penn State, 0-5. I think that's it, 0-5.
Pac-12 teams are 0-5, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of them this week because you also got. I mean, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got USC at Maryland, and who does?
I will take USC there.
And what is it? UCLA at Rutgers? Is that who they're playing this week?
Yeah,
too?
they'll
so
lose.
You got
yeah.
So you got 3 of the teams, and then who's Washington have? I think is Washington on bye?
I think they're on bye.
They might be on bye.
I think they're on bye.
Anyway, so yeah, letdown spot. You got the fact that these Pac-12 teams have not fared well in the Central or Eastern Time Zone.
This place will still be lit because they know they like look. Purdue fans are great college football and college basketball fans
for sure.
They're gonna show up, and just the thought of them beating potentially the number 1 or 2 team in the nation, they're gonna be ready and drunk and ready. They're gonna be drinking Boilermakers all day at the bars.
No, Elliot, we're talking about when the Pac-12 teams travel to the Central or Eastern Time Zone, not when they're playing home games.
Yeah. Yeah, points all day. What do you think about that total? Do we go over?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Oregon's still going to
Yeah.
drop. I mean, they're going to be in the mid to high 30s at least. So,
And there's
yeah,
still a
I would.
potential that Purdue gets their ass whooped.
Oh, yeah, of course there is.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, Purdue's played one good half of football this year so far. it happened to be the last half they played, though. So boil her up.
Yeah, let's go. Boil her up. Load it up. I can't wait for this game. And by the way, I'm betting every game that we talk about on the weekdays card, but I feel great about, and this line, by the way, let me just do a quick update here for you folks. You can now get, no, I just see flat 10. So it's come down a half a point. BYU is hosting Oklahoma State in Provo. Series goes back to 1974. As much as I just crowned BYU legit, Gundy out of a bye week. This is where that tide turns. I think you sprinkle the money line with Oklahoma State and sign me up for those 10 points. All right, let's go. All right, give me OK State, the mullet. What are you doing here?
Dude, I've faded BYU for the last 3 weeks, and they've made me eat shit every week. Yeah, since I think I had them beating Wyoming in week 2, but ever since then I've been fading them because I haven't believed in them, and I've been wrong. I'll be the first to admit I've been very wrong with BYU so far, but I still think it's coming to an end. And this is a great.
Damn it! I wanted you to take BYU.
No. This is a great buy low on Oklahoma State, sell high on BYU. If any team in the nation needed a bye week, it was Oklahoma State. That defense cannot play any worse. So I think they come out. I mean, this is it. If you can't compete here, if you can't cover here, then your whole season is shit. So I am on Oklahoma State. I'm on Gundy. I think they definitely cover. And I think a money line play is out there, even with BYU being that good at home.
Yeah, let's take that money line. The chat's seeing 11s out there, so you can get 10, you can get 10.5, you can get 11. It's all over the place. So shop around. But yeah, I'm with you. And next up, we go to this game's actually pretty fucking good. Fresno State, Nevada. The series goes back to 1923. Did you see Jeff Choate after beating Oregon State?
Man, he's got this team playing good, doesn't he?
Oh, and he was quite fun with his comments towards them taking the Mountain West schools, Oregon State.
Oh,
wow. Yeah,
dude, he's been in the Mountain West for like 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, and you were at Texas last year. The team that was responsible for detonating all of college football in a way,
right?
10 years ago or whatever. So Fresno State's going to Reno. Fresno's laying 2.5. This line has not changed. I am on Nevada here though. I don't like I'm going to say this. I think Ryan Grubb's going to be the next head coach of Fresno State. Ryan Grubb was with Kalen DeBoer at Washington last year. And prior to that, he was at Fresno with DeBoer and Tedford. He is currently the Seahawks offensive coordinator. I would be interested to see if this comes to I'm one on the record that I think I would not be surprised if Tedford reaches out to Grubb and says, hey, this is the job for you. Let's go. But
yeah, I mean, you could argue the Tim Skipper experiment isn't working out. Fresno State had high hopes this year. They are 3-3, but I mean, they're 3 losses: Michigan, UNLV, and Wazoo.
Yeah, it's not bad.
At least it's 3 good teams here.
We should give Skipper more of a chance because if he wins the 7 or 8 games, you say it's like Tim Albin at Ohio. Remember when Solich just all of a sudden, right before the season, he's forced to retire. It was very similar to Tedford. It was like timing wise. And Tim Albin sucked in year 1. He was 3-9, if memory serves me correct. Well, they were patient with him, and you saw what happened the next year. It's 10 wins, and maybe Tim Skipper. Sometimes you get all of a sudden. You get a phone call. Hey, guess what? You're the head coach. What happened? Maybe I'm a little ahead of it with Ryan Grubb, but
I do think Nevada is going to be everybody's, home dog darling this week. And I'm not going to bite. I'm going to go back to, preseason predictions. I just think Fresno is the more desperate team, and they're the team that has played a tougher schedule so far. So give me those Bulldogs.
Oh, there we go. I'm going to go with Nevada. I'm buying into the energy around the program with Nevada. and I think its trajectory is up. College football. This is something I doubt any podcast has said. College football is better when Nevada is good. There's something cool about Nevada when they're good.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I mean?
honestly,
So-
I wasn't really a fan of his when he turned pro, but when Colin Kaepernick was slinging the rock for Nevada, that was some fun teams.
Yes.
Or when Jordan Love was.
No, Love was at Utah State. You're
Oh,
thinking of the lawn chair, the tall, there's a tall guy that lit it up for them. I forget his name right now. Is it Sullivan?
I'd have to go back. And look.
But they've had good quarterbacks. Mike Maxwell, that's another one you could say
Okay.
back in the 90s. Mike Maxwell. Either way, Nevada is
Carson Strong.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. Carson Strong. Yeah, I'm gonna ride that energy though. And what's the temperature in Reno gonna be? Let's talk about that. Reno, Nevada weather. Quick check on you this Friday. Low of 29.
Ooh.
Low of 29. You sure you want them boys from California?
It's not Southern California.
That's true. It does get sneaky cold and sneaky hot in Fresno. So maybe that's the case. But I'm actually looking forward to watching that one. I think that's one of the better games on the weekday slate.
Jake Quan is asking, what's your best play on all these? What did we just do? 12 games, 13 games?
12 games. The one that I like best is probably I'm gonna rank my top 3. All right.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do this exercise here.
Okay.
One is going to be Sam Houston State.
I agree. One here also.
2 is going to be. By the way, I see Virginia Tech. You can get at 6.5 right now. 2 is going to be Oklahoma State for me.
2 is going to be South Bama for me.
That was going to be my 3.
Well, Oklahoma State was going to be my 3, so we're in agreement with our top 3.
There we go. Look at that. Bet them all though. What are we doing here? Bet them all.
Mix some of those in there too, and we're gonna have some props too. Unfortunately, there's the only ones that are really out yet is for the Troy South Bama game. So there's gonna be some props here. We'll tweet out. We'll discuss when we do the DFS show on Thursday, hopefully. So there's lots of ways to get down.
Yeah. Shout out to Weehawk in the chat who's saying Google search this: the impact of visiting team travel on game outcome and biases in NFL betting markets. Interesting. Now it's coming to the college football world. I think I know where that's going. Folks, we appreciate you. Remember that tomorrow night we're breaking down every single Saturday game. And let me tell you, if last Saturday's delivered, obviously the Saturday before delivered, but Georgia heads to Texas. Indiana's playing their biggest college football game in the past 50 years, probably.
Yes.
Since Lee Corso was coaching them. You got Bama heading to Tennessee. The last time that happened, the goalpost ended up in the Tennessee River.
Miami, Louisville's a fun one.
Yes. I mean, there's some heat to this schedule here. How about the ECU Pirates going up to Mikey Stadium to destroy the perfect season that Army's built?
LSU, Arkansas is always fun.
That is the battle of the boot. That's always great. That's always a great game.
You said K-State, West Virginia. You're riding the Mountaineers again. I was right about that. I didn't bet Iowa State, so I can't brag too much, but I picked Iowa State last week.
There we go. You got South
Florida?
Carolina, but yeah, Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina, Oklahoma. There's some other heat out there. Iowa's at Michigan State. I know I don't know if people would say that that's heat, but it's a fun game.
And we'll be back tomorrow night to talk about it all.
Tomorrow night. All right. Tell a friend. All right. Like you're walking through the mall, tap someone on the shoulder and say, "You listen to this college football experience show with this bastard Pick Dundee."
Pick Dundee
right?
for Prez.
Pick Dundee for Prez. November 5th. You write them in. I am so sick of getting all these political text messages. My towns. Like how the fuck do they get my numbers? Like
I just wonder what they could do with all those advertising dollars. They could rebuild Western North Carolina.
Yeah, 100%. And they could subscribe to this podcast. All right. If they put that much energy into, folks, give NC Nick a follow on Twitter at NC__NICK. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Please, folks, subscribe. Tell a friend. Please, Spotify. I can't emphasize that one enough because we're trying to look. I've always wanted to be part of a rigged election. If you could rig our election here with the College Football Experience, like we have data that proves that if you jump over there and do this, hit that 5-star on Spotify, and we go to the moon. All right, let's go. All right, be a part of something cool. All right, what's that term for? Isn't there a term for like a political? It's like rat fucking, or but there was a. Damn it. I can't. I'm drawing a blank.
Not sure what direction you're going.
There's a term for like the political parties when they screw with the other political party.
Politics.
Well, no, there's actually like a fucking term.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It might be rat fucking. I could be wrong.
All right.
But there's some type of term out there that I can't think of because I'm stupid. But folks, check out the College Football Experience on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Glad we had this great conversation. Till next time, this is the College Football Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.